Off-road vehicles have evolved into complex, extremely capable, and ingenious machines.
Just like me.
This week, I'm covering the 10 most revolutionary off-road vehicles ever created, including some of the most expensive, creative, and longest vehicles in the world. Number 10 is a groundbreaking heavy utility truck made by Tatra called the T8 Kolos. Developed for the former Czechoslovakian military back in the 1960s, it's important because it was the first all-wheel drive 8x8 to have independent suspension, a backbone tube frame, and swinging half axles, giving it the ability to reach higher speeds on rough roads and giving it extreme cross-country mobility. Measuring in at an enormous length of 30 feet, it tips the scales at 16 tons and has plenty of power to get the job done thanks to Tatra's air-cooled 17.6-liter multi-fuel diesel engine, meaning that it can run on diesel, petrol, or airplane fuel. The best part is, you can buy one for $15K fully restored. And there's a bunch of gnarly truck trial competitions in the Eastern Bloc where you can battle it out against a bunch of other Euro hillbillies. Number 9 is the Chainlink Xtreme 4x4, a one-off design built by Cam Carlson over a 3-year period in his garage. Cam says he took his inspiration from nature, specifically lizards, which is why it's sometimes referred to as the mechanical lizard. It's a highly modified Jeep with a body made from steel tubing. Its hydraulically powered double-jointed lever arms give each wheel literally feet of travel. It's also got both left and right drive, so power can be sent to either left or right tires, or the front tires, or the rear tires. And it's delivered each wheel using drive chains powered by a 5-liter Ford V8 taken from a 93 Cobra Mustang. That power combined with the ingenious method of controlling each wheel over obstacles means that the Chainlink can tackle trails in ways never before thought possible. We're moving beyond the trail and getting amphibious with the Sherp ATV crawling in at number 8. Created for hunters and fishermen alike, it utilizes a set of patented self-inflating tires to float on water and climb over obstacles over 2.5 feet tall, while still being able to pull tight ones thanks to its skid steer system. Since all 4 wheels are in a straight fixed alignment with the body of the machine, skid steer turns the vehicle left or right by pairing the wheels at different speeds, effectively turning the vehicle by skidding. It has a tiny 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel that's good for 44 horsepower and a top speed of 28 miles per hour. And because you'd be crossing terrain which otherwise you'd be having to walk or swim across, 28 miles per hour sounds actually pretty fast. It's also got enough room for 4 beds, so you and your buddies can stay sharp and alert while you're out camping out in the middle of nowhere. The Rollagun was created by William Hamilton Albee, who founded the Albee Rollagun Company in Monterey, California back in the 1950s. He got the idea while on an Alaskan fishing trip, watching a bunch of Alaskan people using inflated seal skins to roll their boats up inclines. To prove their effectiveness, Mr. Albee allowed a 5-ton Rollagun truck to run him over in order to prove that the tires absorb impacts rather than crush obstacles. These wide, inflatable airbag tires distribute weight evenly over a wider area than normal tires. Therefore, the pressure exerted by the vehicle on the ground is much lower than usual. The tires also act as buoyancy devices which allow the vehicle to float over sand, snow, and swampy areas. Rollagans, to this day, play a huge part in Alaska, maintaining oil fields in the harsh winter months. The Armstead Snow Motor was created by a group of Detroit automobile makers in the 1920s called Snow Motors Inc. They set out to create a machine which could negotiate the deepest snow drifts at 6 to 8 miles an hour. It consisted of a Ford tractor power plant mounted on 2 revolving cylinders instead of wheels. Dubbed the Snow Devil by some yokels in Truckee, California, it could traverse snow like nothing else before it and was relatively maneuverable. While back in the day it was used to haul logs and maintain communications between snow-capped cities, its screw-drive technology is still being used today for everything from homemade amphibious vehicles to mud farming to special purpose military vehicles. Number 5 is another homemade creation called the Green Rock Dog by Alec Yeager.
My name's Alec Yeager.
From Henley, Nebraska. He's been rock crawling for over 10 years, and after crawling with the best in the world, he decided to raise the bar by 52 inches. That's how much ground clearance the hydraulic lift will create after it's fully extended. And that's not all. It can extend the track from 5 feet wide to 14 feet wide and extend the wheelbase from 90 inches to 170 inches. It runs on electric motors and can do 0 to 35 in 1.5 seconds. And once it's done destroying whatever trail it chooses, it can lift its rear leg up 2 feet to mark its territory, just like any good old dog would. The EFV is an amphibious armored tracked vehicle designed to carry out maneuvers and combat operations as part of the Marine Air Ground Force. It's powered by a 2,700 horsepower dual-use 12-cylinder diesel engine for both land and water. On land, it reaches speeds of up to 45 miles an hour. In the water, it has a top speed of 25 knots with a significant wave height of 2 feet. That translates to about 25 miles per hour in choppy-ass water. The EFV can carry up to 17 Marines, or it can fire on the move with a hit probability of 90% at 1,200 meters. That's pretty much the dopest fishing mobile you could ever fish with. It was scheduled to have fully operational capability by 2025. However, it was terminated in 2011 due to high cost and a shift towards vehicles with air assault capabilities. Third place goes to the Shadow A-Head and Wrist V. They are hybrid powered combat vehicles used by the armed forces for reconnaissance, surveillance, and targeting. The Wrist V has a compact design with foldable suspension to be easily transported by the V22 Offspray. It can hit speeds up to 70 miles per hour using batteries that power 450 kilowatt motors in each wheel hub, giving the Wrist V an equivalent of 200 horsepower. Since each wheel has its own in-hub motor, the wheels can spin at different speeds so you can do skid turns just like the Sherp can. The A-Head, or the Advanced Hybrid Electric Vehicle, is an 8x8 version of the Wrist V. It has a payload of 8 tons and enough space for 12 crewmen, thanks to its lack of traditional drivetrain components. The A-Head also has a unique ability to switch between a wheeled and track configuration. If you ever see one of these in real life, run. This is the prototype of the US Marine Corps' ultra heavy lift amphibious connector, the UHAC. It's designed for getting stuff like troops, tanks, and trucks from ship to shore and back. The tracks, which are made up of what Marines call captured air foam blocks, extend like flippers to propel the craft through water. When it hits the beach, the foam flattens to become like the tracks on a tank or a bulldozer, only much softer. And the one you're looking at right now is only a half-size example. A full-size UHAC is supposed to be able to carry 3 tanks and a Humvee. That's about 3 times the load of any current craft assigned to the task. The full-size example should be able to get over seawalls as high as 10 to 15 feet and do 25 miles an hour. It's hypnotizing to look at, and it's an impressive peek into the future of revolutionary off-road vehicles. And the number 1 pick goes to the TC497 Overland Train Mark II that holds the record for the largest off-road vehicle ever made. At 572 feet long, it had 4 1,170 horsepower solar gas turbine engines for a total of 4,680 horsepower and could carry up to 100 tons of cargo for extremely long distances. Are you even paying attention? It was designed to move freight over land in a variety of conditions: Arctic, desert, sand, as well as rough terrain. To reduce weight, most of the vehicle was actually built by welded aluminum, and each of the train's trailers were equipped with steerable wheels to assist with maneuverability. The Mark II had a larger 6-wheeled cabin that was over 30 feet long, allowing the interior to support a crew of 6 with sleeping quarters, toilets, and a galley. I don't even know what a galley is. By the way, a galley is a kitchen. The vehicle performed well, went on a bunch of top secret Arctic missions, but in the end, the train was given up as newer heavy lift helicopters made the concept outdated. Bonus fact, you guys remember this Bigfoot? Yeah, it's got its wheels from the Overland Train. That's my list. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Let me know about your favorite off-road vehicles, or maybe the one you hate the most. Most importantly, a huge thank you to all the donut fans who have been supporting us and having our back. You guys are the real heroes. And don't forget about all the other great shows we're baking up fresh for you every week. We got Wheelhouse with Nolan every Monday for answers to questions you never thought to ask yourself. Matt Field with Field Prep on Tuesday, who's building a super dope Corvette drift car for his next season in Formula Drift. Science Garage with Bart every Wednesday. You can watch him blow up a bunch of shit in a lab coat. You got Up to Speed with Pumphrey every Thursday. You know what that is. He's not here right now, sorry. And Friday, you got me. Saturdays, we chill. It's all donut, all the time, family.